All right, welcome back for the reshoot of Inside Wrestling. And we're just going to pick right up on it. First issue released Inside Wrestling November 1968. And again, they still are going with that tabloid type of a cover. Very busy, very hard to detect what's going on. Actually got multiple issues of that. Next issue, January 1969. And wow, this is a very busy cover. Bruno and Ernie Ladd in the corner, Bob Ellis in the middle, George Steele, the girls in a boxing match. A lot going on there. Inside Wrestling, March 69. Next issue with the wrestlers, favorite wrestlers' horoscopes. The Inside Wrestling, May 69. Inside Wrestling, July 1969 with the Sheik. This is the one we discussed with the fake painted on blood. There's another issue. You got to really see this one. When it pops up, I'll point it out to you. That's really colored in. Next issue, Inside Wrestling, would be October 69. And the final issue is December 1969. Can't really make out who's on the cover here. Can't even tell who the females are. They don't name anybody. It's just kind of a moshed cover. April 1970, the classic battle with the Sheik battling Giant Baba when he came to the Los Angeles area, and women's wrestlers on the left. Here's the issue I was telling you about, June 1970, Inside Wrestling. I mean, look at the pastel colors of these guys' outfits, if you can see this. No one dressed like that. These were black and white shot and colored in by the artist to make it pop a little bit more. Look at those greens and yellows. You wouldn't see stuff like that until the 80s, or maybe on an episode of Saved by the Bell. But that was really a bizarre looking cover for 1969 or 1970, whatever that was, June of 1970. Let's see, next issue was August 1970. Johnny Valentine on the cover with his battle with Buddy Rogers. Bruno Sammartino with his life story. That was also the bullshit story that pissed off Bruno and made him mad at the magazines. And they would do a rebuttal when Bill Apter got hired, and he did a real story on Bruno. This one was just a fictitious story of Bruno. Here's another same one that's just autographed. I got it 3 times. Okay, next issue is December 1970, covering Bruno's match with Buddy Rogers and Mil Mascaras with the America's title. March of 1971 is the next issue. So we skipped quite a few months, January and February, and goes right to March 71. There's not a lot of issues in 71, so keep an eye. There's not 12 for sure. Next issue is in May 71, Pedro winning the title. This is a winter special, very rare, hard to come by. It wasn't out for very long. It was available for mail away for a short time. Not sure if it hit the newsstands or not, that I can't say. I just know it's on the rarer side. All the Inside Wrestling from 70 and 71 are very difficult to find, if you can find them. Completing these were a real bitch. Here's just another copy of that. This is the Inside Wrestling, October 1970. This is the uncensored version. There's a censored version. Here, I'll just show you in case you guys have never seen it. There's some nudity in here with the women, and believe me, it's nothing, especially by today's standards. You see the ladies mud wrestling, and you can see that she's topless here, but she's mostly covered in mud. Kind of crazy. You're going to cut off take it off the newsstands for that. The next page was them coming out with the hula lay and some of the ladies here that are topless. And for that, the magazine was pulled off the shelf and had to be censored, and they put a black bar across the bottom of it. So there, if you have an uncensored version, hang on to it. If you're looking to sell it, you can get more money for the uncensored version on eBay because people are looking for it. This was Bill Apter's first credited issue when he signed on with Stanley Weston in October of 1970. So his December 71 issue was his first issue being credited as an associate editor. January 1972, and now they're going to start coming out a little bit more every month, kind of a deal. There is a few missing issues. Just like I said, watch for the missing months here. February 1972, Mil Mascaras wins the WWA Los Angeles Americas title. I love this cover. Bloodbath in Chicago. Great locker room shot. Both guys are bloodied up. The Crusher always had great bloody covers. Him and the Bruiser both. April 1972, Superstar Billy Graham. May 1972, Cowboy Bob Ellis, Pedro Morales. June of 1972, we got Bobby Heenan and Baron von Raschke and Bobby Shane off to the left before Bobby Shane would be killed. Who knows where he would have went had he not been killed. He was one of my favorite early wrestlers to read about. I guess my favorite wrestler, magazine wrestler, I guess you could call it, because I never got to see him, but I would only read about him in the magazines, and never got to see him. July 1972 is the next issue. August, John Tolos versus the Sheik in Los Angeles. August 72, Inside Wrestling. September 1972, a very bloody Terry Funk and Mascaras at the bottom. November 1972, with Dirty Dick Murdoch on the cover. Jack Briscoe, Terry Funk on the cover here of December 1972. Welcome to 1973. Pedro Morales, new world champion, of course, and just talking about his match with Bruno at the Shea Stadium Spectacular. February 1973, Pedro defends the title against the Big Cat Ernie Ladd. March of 73, Harley Race and Terry Funk battled out in a bloody war. Inside Wrestling, April 1973. It is the WWA Los Angeles Battle Royal that they held every year. May of 73, Mil Mascaras, John Tolos for the Americas title. June 73, Mascaras and Superstar on the cover. July 1973, Pedro Morales and Freddie Blassie, that's what I meant to say, battling it out at the Garden. Pacific Coast champion versus the WWF champion. August 73, Inside Wrestling. September 73, a rare shot front and cover of Bruno Sammartino versus Harley Race for the NWA title. And it's a match that never gets talked about, ever. October 73, Harley Race once again. November 73, Jack Briscoe. December 1973, and a bloody Victor Rivera with the Americas belt around the waist, getting stitched up in the locker room of the Los Angeles Territory NWA Olympic Auditorium. January 1974, we got the Sheik. We got a rare shot of Bruno Sammartino here when he was World Tag Team Champions with Dick the Bruiser in Dick the Bruiser's version of the WWA. February 1974, Pedro back on the cover with Ernie Ladd. A shot of Superstar Billy Graham. He just won a 24-man Battle Royal up in Canada. Dick Murdoch holding the chain. Bruno Sammartino wins the world title, defeating Stasiak. I'm trying to read and watch the film at the same time. Against Stan Stasiak. This is the coverage with Bruno taking the title back in April of 74. And here is Bruno's first cover as the world champion in the locker room with the winged eagle belt. May of 1974, the night he won it back. June 1974, Ernie Ladd on the cover, and Jack Briscoe with the very rare red leather 10 pounds of gold. Actually, I don't know if it was leather. It was more or less a felt or a velvet kind of a material. They said it was. July 74 with Don Leo. August 1974, we got the Sheik taking a chunk out of Dory Funk Sr.'s head. September 74. October 74, November 74 with all three Garvins together, December 74 with Funk, and 75 we got the Bruiser on the cover, bloodied up, Swede Hansen battling it out with Rip Hawk. They split up their tag team and they are now battling it out. Here's Mil Mascaras' brother Dos Caras in February 1975. Got 2 issues of that. March 75, Inside Wrestling Superstar, looking as big as ever in that photo. My very first issue I ever got in 1977, which was April 1975, with a bloody Bobby Heenan, Chief Wahoo McDaniel, and Pedro. Bruno Sammartino battling it out in May 1975, and a rare look at Superstar Graham on the bottom, and then over here again when he has the black hair and the black beard with the head kind of shaven, kind of becoming for later on what was to come later on in the 80s, but a different look there. You didn't see Superstar look like that very often. Inside Wrestling, we have June 1975 with a bloody Buddy Colt. July 1975 with the Valiant Brothers as the World Tag Team Champions. Here's a rare shot of Apartment House Wrestling on the cover of Inside Wrestling. It's the one and only time you'd see that on the cover, especially a full page, August of 75. I liked it so much I had to get 2 of them. September 75, Mil Mascaras on the cover with the IWA World Belt. October 75 with a bloody Billy Graham. Inside Wrestling, November 1975, Mascaras with a full headshot. I love the mask, the black and the silver with the red M just stood out so well. The Japanese have a couple of covers with him with that mask. It looks so good and bright, full color like it does. December, ending it out for 1975 with Andre standing on the chest of Superstar Graham. January 76, we got Andre the Giant on the cover again. Andre will be on it again, 3rd consecutive time, February 1976. March 1976, Ernie Ladd and Pedro. April 76, Jack Briscoe and the Spoiler. May 76, rare shot of Andre the Giant as Bigfoot and the $6 Million Man. June 1976, Bruno Sammartino on the cover. And one of the only times Inside Wrestling had this crazy looking font, and they shrunk the letters down a little bit on the ends here. I'm glad they didn't stick with that style, but it's a great cover nonetheless. It stands the that time period's look from the mid to early 70s. August 1976, we got the Funk Brothers with the All Japan World Tag Team belts, and Ivan Putski on the bottom with Superstar Graham. We have September 76, Andre and Ernie Ladd. October 76 with Bruno Sammartino. November 76, we got Mil Mascaras on the cover. It looks like he's signing an autograph, most likely. You know, back then you could run up to the ring and get your autographs from the wrestlers right from then. It's pretty great. December 76, Inside Wrestling. January 77, Inside Wrestling. February 77, Inside Wrestling. Oops, excuse me for a sec there. March 77, Inside Wrestling. April 1977, we have a shot of Mil Mascaras on the cover and Baron Von Raschke off to the corner, Mr. Wrestling 2 and Jimmy Carter at the bottom of the page. One of the last shots you'll see of Bruno Sammartino, not one of, I think it's the last shot of Bruno on the cover with the WWF belt, May 77. June of 77, Superstar Graham takes the belt. Bruno's belt looks good around my waist. Yes, it did. July 77, Inside Wrestling with Dusty Rhodes, the fake full smile. August 77, Inside Wrestling with Bob Backlund. September 77, Bruno and Baron Von Raschke. This was Bruno's last title defense at the Garden before losing the title. So the month of this was released after he lost the belt, but that picture, he was still the champion at that point. October of 1977, Inside Wrestling. November 1977, Inside Wrestling. We got the Superstar and Ivan Putski. December 77, Inside Wrestling with Superstar and Ivan. January 78, we got the Superstar Graham in the corner getting ready to face off against Dusty Rhodes at the Garden, and a Bloody Sheik and Terry Funk. And this match would take place in the movie I Like to Hurt People. We discussed that a little bit in our Rise of the Sheik video we put out a couple of months ago. February 1978, Inside Wrestling, Dusty and Flair. First time those two will be on a cover together, and quite a few more to come with those two for sure. March 78, April 1978, and May 1978, the Super Bowl of Wrestling, Superstar Graham and Harley Race battle it out, title versus title. We discussed that in several videos, and again, no June issue for 78. Nothing printed for Wrestler or Inside Wrestling, so take note. Don't spend a year looking for it like I did. July 78, Superstar Graham and Bob Backlund. Bob Backlund takes the WWF title. August 78, Superstar Graham and Backlund for Bob's first cage match. Dusty Rhodes with the 10 pounds of gold. September 1978, Dusty Rhodes, Mil Mascaras, Bob Backlund and Andre on the cover. October 78, November 1978, December 1978, Dusty and Flair again. January 1979, this is a throwback picture. The match took place around 77, I believe, when Superstar and Bruno go at it again. They may have won at it again, but this picture is from 77. And we've got the two champions on the cover. Always love seeing the two champs on the cover of a mag. A very bloody Harley Race and Blackjack Mulligan's Claw in March 79, April 79, May 79, June 1979, July 79, Ivan Koloff and Dusty. August, Steamboat and Flair's first full cover together during their feud. September 79, Nick Bockwinkel and Ricky Steamboat. October 79, November 79, and the last issue is December 79. I was wondering why I had so many more issues back here. I forgot that I had the Ben Strong issues back here. All right, I guess we're going to do a bonus. We're going to do a bonus of Ben Strong. Let's see here. It's kind of threw me off myself. Let's see. First issue of Ben Strong, January 1973. We got a chain match with Terry Funk on the cover. Next issue would be April 73, August 73, November 73. That'll do it for 73. That'll be January 74, Ben Strong. Next issue is March 74, May 74, July 74, September. This ran pretty good in 74, then it took a nosedive in 75, I believe. December 74, and next issue would be February 1975 with Pedro on the cover. Probably one of my favorite covers with the Sheik, and that's June 75. They put out a collector's issue in summer of 75, and the series ended with a souvenir special of September 1975. So there it is, Inside Wrestling from 1968 to 1980, and a handful of years of Ben Strong. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next.